In this video, we are going to discuss about basics of wireless sensors and lower level issues. Issues. We are going to discuss about these topics. In this, we have syllabus of applications and classifications of sensor networks and architecture of sensor networks, physical layer, MAC layer, link layer, routing layer. We will discuss each and every topic in this video. So first of all, what is wireless? As I already told that ad-hoc network is nothing but a wireless. There is no traditional, right? So there is no connection between two devices. Directly there is no physical connection, nothing but wire. So wireless. A wireless sensor is a self-controlled and contained device that can sense environment conditions, measure physical or environmental conditions, and transmit the data wirelessly to base. It is nothing but a database, base station or other devices. So in this, the device is going to contain device that can be sense environment. For example, a device which is present to the like environmental, what is the weather and all. So this can be useful, this can be sense, it can be the sensor. It can be determine what is the weather casting, what is the situation like rainy or sunny, humidity. So this all will collect the data and it will sends to the base station. Base station is nothing but the it is a gateway, okay, gateway or other devices. This is nothing but the wireless. There is no physical connection between two devices. That is nothing but the by using sensors or sense, it sends the environment conditions. Okay, next, key components of a wireless sensor nodes. So key components, what are the components which are present in the wireless sensor networks? Sensor, microcontroller, transient, power source, antenna and memory. These are all the key components of wireless sensor network. Wireless sensor network or nodes is nothing but WSN. In short form, you will call as WSN. Sensor, the core component that the sensor is the core component that measure physical parameters like temperature and humidity. Okay, wireless is nothing but the sensor. Sensor is nothing but it can sense the environmental conditions and it can physical parameters like temperature, humidity. It can detect some conditions and it can store the whether environment is rainy or it can define the temperature and what is the environmental humidity and etc. It will sense the environmental condition and it can pass to the base station. Okay, next, microcontroller. What the microcontroller will do? A small and lower power processor that controls the sensor processes. Data is managed, communicate. Okay, data is going to communicating, manage way communication. Okay, communication between what? Control the sensor and process the data in manageable communicate. Okay, next, transient. Transient is nothing but a device that transmits the receives radio signals from wireless communication. This sensor is as I already told that this is nothing but a wireless, right? So the power source is nothing, the transient is nothing but the transmits and receives radio signal from the wireless communication. So as I already told that there is a base what we can say base station, right? So this base station is having it is wireless communication and it can receive a radio signal from another devices. Okay, that is nothing but the transient. Next, power source. What is the power source? Typically a battery. Battery is nothing but a power source. Power source is nothing but it is a source which can produce power to the all the wireless devices. Okay, although some sensors can harvest energy from environment. Sensor can harvest energy from the environment. Like sensor have solar power, right? So it can take the energy from sun. Okay, like that also some power sources are there. Mostly we are using battery, but coming to whenever it comes to the sensors like sensor, then it will take the energy from which? Sun, right? It is a natural. And antenna enables wireless communication with other devices. It can enables wireless communication with another. There is no connection between two devices, right? So it is nothing but the antenna. Next, memory stores sensor data. in memory we know that what is the memory will do. Memory can store the data which can process from the sensor, which can produce the data from sensor, and like temperature, environmental conditions, this all will humidity, this all will store sense the environmental conditions, and it can give the data to the memory, and it can store, memory can store the data of sensor. Okay, next, lower layer ad hoc sensor network, ANS. Okay, the lower layer primarily focus on physical and data link layer. So in computer networks we know that what are the layers present: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, application layer. So these all are the some layers are present in the network layer, computer networks, right, to transmit the data from source to the destination. Okay, so same, the lower layer ad hoc sensor network is nothing but the which are present in the lower level. Okay, lower layer. Okay, this is nothing but the lower layer, data link layer, and physical layer. It is a communication between sensor node. It can communicate with the sensor node, as I already told that what is sensor node. Okay, next, key challenges. What are the key challenges are present in the lower layer ad hoc network sensor networks? Okay, next, what are that? Energy efficiency, security, limited bandwidth, and interference. As I already told that what is key challenges. Okay, security, definitely the security is limited. Why? Because there are so many attackers and all will come, and it is not that much security. Daniel of service, these all will come under the threats of security. And energy efficiency, energy efficiency is also a big challenge of lower lower layer ad hoc sensor network. And limited bandwidth, as a previous video I discussed about what is bandwidth. And interference is also a challenge of lower layer ad hoc network sensor. Okay, next, for example, here see user can interact the base sensor node using internet, right? So internet have in between sensor nodes like sensor region and internet, in middle we have base station. This base station is also represented in this way. Okay, in the base station, and the user can interact with internet. Internet is going to interact with the sensing region through base station. This is nothing but the sensing region. In this sensing region we have sensor nodes. Okay, these sensors can sense the environment. It can pass to the base station. Base station can produce the data to the internet, and internet can give the details of environment or whatever the user need. That data will give to the user. Okay, next, WSN, wireless sensor network. So what is wireless sensor networks? Sensor networks are highly distributed, lightweighted. Okay, one second. Sensor networks are highly distributed, lightweighted nodes deployed in large number of monitors the environment or system. Okay, wireless sensor network is nothing but the wireless. There is no wire between device. Okay, and sensor is nothing but sense the data, as I already told. These all will come under the network. Okay, in network we have sensor nodes, base station, internet, and user. In previous diagram we discussed, right? So that is nothing but the WSN is nothing but the wireless sensor network. Sensor network are highly distributed. We already know that what can the sensor will do. It can distribute the data, and it can be lightweight nodes deployed in large number of monitors to the environment or system. Okay, next, sensor nodes are filled sensor nodes are filled with the onboard process. Sensor nodes have sensor subsystem, sensor processing system. Sensor nodes have communication system. Sensor subsystems have some sensor have some subsystems, And processing systems is nothing but whatever the processing the data, like source sensor can give the some data, right? So it can be process the data, and it can give to the internet to through user through internet. Okay, this is nothing but the sensor data. Next, here see the explanation of WSN. See, for example, this is the internet and this is a sensor. Sensor can give the, here is the base station. Okay, in between we have base station. Okay, internet. Through internet user can interact with, right? Through internet user can interact with sensor. So sensor can give so many different types of data, right? So in between we have base station. In previous diagram also I shown, right? So the base station can helps to the base station can act as an intermediate between sensor nodes. These are nothing but the sensor nodes. Okay, this is nothing but the sensor node, and this is nothing but the base station. Okay, this is an acts as an intermediate between sensor nodes and internet, which is helps to the user. Okay, next, applications. There are so many applications are present in the WSN. WSN is nothing but wireless sensor networks. Okay, battle in military. There is no wireless. There is no physical wire between two, what we can say, battles, right? In military power. Okay, then also they are connecting through ad hoc networks. Air pressure, temperature, humidity. These all will sense the sensors, and it can give the data to in the form of sensor nodes, and it can produce the data to the base station, and it can analyze and it can give to the internet. Through that user can determines and understand what is the air and what is the humidity of environmental conditions, and noise level of surroundings. In agriculture also we are using WSN, wireless sensor networks, in different ways. Okay, next, landslide detection, environment monitoring. As I already told that what is environmental monitoring, by using sensor we are using, right? Next, healthcare also we are using sensors. Industrial automation and smart cities. In smart cities also, these all are nothing but the applications. Okay, applications of wireless sensor networks. Okay, next, what are the challenges of WSN? Okay, quality of service. There is quality there after doing this many like transactions from source node, sensing region to base station to the internet to the user. There might be a challenge that quality is not that much perfectly, so it become a it become a challenge, and energy issue. As I already told that what is the energy of sensors, batteries, and as well as from uh, what we can say, some sensors have from nature, right? From sun the energy is going to take from sun panel. Okay, so sensor panel. And security is limited, as I already told that, and security issue, performance, scalability, these all are nothing but the challenges of WSN. WSN is nothing but wireless sensor network. Next, classification of sensor network. So what are the classifications, and in which type of classification the sensor network can be classified, right? So sensor network might seem a bit redundant. Why? Because the sensor network have repeatedly frequently coming the data, right? The sensor can give definitely in 1 minute, in each and every minute, what is going, like environmental or anything, that data can be give to the sensors base station redundantly, is nothing but frequently. It highlights a specific type of wireless sensor network that emphasize the ad hoc characteristics. So there are some classified into the sensor network can classified into, there are some different types: mobility, deployment, network architecture, communication protocols, applications. Okay, what are the applications? This is nothing but the applications. Okay, in which area we are using the sensors. Mobility. What is mobility? Static ad hoc network sensor. Static ad hoc sensor network. So mobility is network static. There is no change, right? And mobile ad hoc sensor network. mobile ad hoc network sense, it is nothing but the mobility. Okay, mobility of it is a classification of sensor network. And deployment have structured and unstructured. In unstructured we can also call as random. Okay, unstructured is nothing but there is no particular structure. Okay, in classification of a sensor network, the data which is from the sensors, right, there is no particular structure is not there, that is nothing but randomly we are taking. And structure means nothing but the planned. We are going to like some particular structure or format we are following, right? So that is nothing but the structure deployment. Next, network architecture. There is a flat or mesh. I think you know what is mesh. Nothing but a uh, not that a proper way. The nodes which are present in the network that can communicate with each other, and that is looking like a bin format. Okay, next, clustering with dynamic cluster heads. Next, communication protocols. We have communication protocols in the uh, classification of sensor network. Reactive, on demand, proactive, table driven. These all we discussed in first unit, right? So what is reactive and what is proactive? These two are we know that. And in first unit we have hybrid also. Okay, in each and every routing algorithm we have some protocols also. We discussed everything in previous videos. Please, if you do not watch those videos, then please check those videos and watch these videos. Okay, that can help to you the understanding way of communication protocols. Okay, next, applications, emergency response, environmental monitoring. In this we are going to use the sensors, right? So sensors is nothing but it can sense the immediately and it can share the data to the storage, right, memory. Okay, so that it can give quick reply. Okay, quick reply, and it can respond quickly. That is nothing but the classifications of sensor networks. And in the next the next topic is architecture of sensor network. So how the sensor network is going to happen, like what are the stages are present in architecture of sensor network, we will discuss. Sensor network architecture is used in WSN, wireless sensor network. Okay, it can be used in various places like schools, hospitals, buildings, roads, etc. Wherever in traffic also we are using, right? So there is no connection, and there are so many applications are present. Those are not applications of sensor network also it can use. Okay, schools, hospital, building, roads, etc. These all will come under applications also. Okay, next, see, next step is applications where varies like disaster management, etc. These, there are two types of architecture we are using in the sensor networks. Okay, what are those? There are two types in the architectures. Okay, what are those? Layered networks architecture and cluster architecture. So what is layered and what is cluster, we will discuss in the architecture of the sensor network. Okay, first, layered network sensor layered network architecture of sensor network. Okay, layer is nothing but some layer. There are some pretty layers are present, so we will discuss with diagram also. It makes use of a new and few 100 sensor nodes and single power base station. We know that what is the power base station. Okay, base station is nothing but a inter between the sensor and user. Okay, it can transmit the data from it acts as an intermediate. Okay, that is nothing but the base station. Powerful, we are using single powerful base station. Okay, next, network nodes are organized into concentric layers. It consists of 5 layers and 3 cross layers. What are those? We know that computer networks also we know that what are the layers. Okay, these are nothing but the one: physical layer, data link layer, new network layer, transport layer, and application layer. These all are the 5 layers and 3 cross layers, right? 3 class layers, what are those? Task management plan, and mobility management plan, and power management plan. These are the 3 different types. And we have advantages of layered network architecture in architecture of sensor network. Okay, what are those? Scalability, flexibility, distribution of processing. We know that what is scalability and flexible means there is no connection between physical connection between two devices, right? So it obviously it can be the flexible. And distribution processing, as I already told that the sensor network can distribute the data to everywhere. Okay, and disadvantages are complexity and cost based. So there is a little bit more cost and complexity, is looking like a complexity in the layered network architecture. And next, second one is cluster network architecture. What is the cluster network architecture? We will discuss with one diagram. This is a two tier hierarchy clustering architecture. The distributed algorithm is used to arrange the sensor nodes into a groups. So first of all, what is the cluster? Cluster is nothing but a group of, right? Group of, in the network architecture we are talking, right? So it is nothing but a group of network architecture. Okay, network sensor networks. Okay, it is a group of sensor networks. Cluster is nothing but a group. Okay, layered is nothing but the layer in the form of layer forms. Okay, next, clustering. This is as I already told, and the distributed algorithm is used to arrange the sensor nodes into groups. So in machine learning also we have some specific regions. We are dividing those algorithms into different types, right? So what are those different types, and what are the basic concentration, and what are the conditions to have those? We discuss those all will come under the machine learning. So based on that also we have some distributed algorithms using for clustering the nothing but the grouping the sensor networks. Okay, this is nothing but the cluster network architecture. Okay, next, the nodes of the cluster will create the TDMA. TDMA is nothing but time division multiple access. So based on the time, the cluster is going to divide. Okay, multiple plans. So if for example here see, these are nothing but the radio signals, and this is nothing but a cluster, and this is nothing but the base station. So the radio signals are coming to the cluster, and cluster will communicating to the base station, and through base station we have user, right? So user can interact, and user, what the user requirements that that base station will give. Okay, one second. Next, this is nothing but the architecture of sensor network. We have two types of architecture of sensor networks. One is layered and cluster, second one. So we discussed in depth, and in layer we have 5 types of layers and 3 types of cross layers. Okay, and in cluster we are going to dividing, or we can combining our group of some sensor networks, and we are directly interacting with the base station, right? Next topic is physical layer. It is a unique challenges and considerations. Physical layers have a unique challenges and considerations. Characteristics place specific demand on specific demand on the physical layer. Demand based on, it is nothing but on demand. Okay, next, wireless medium challenges. There are some challenges are present in the physical layer. Wireless medium challenge. In wireless medium challenge we have signal interference. In signal interference is nothing but it is an in ad-hoc network multiple devices are share the same medium of wireless, leading to increase the interference. To increase an interference, we are going to share the same medium of wireless. So wireless of same medium, okay, we are sharing. That is nothing but that is what we'll do. That is nothing but multiple devices shares interference in the signal interference. Okay, signal interference. In signal interference we have multiple devices are sharing to the same multiple same data is going to share repeatedly. That is nothing redundantly. That is nothing but the interference to increase the interference. That is why. Okay, next, the physical layer needs to employ techniques like spread spectrum or frequency hopping to mitigation. To maintain a certain mitigation, we are going to spread the spectrum, like we are going to shade the spectrum in depth, and we are spreading the spectrum. Okay, next, varying signal strengths. Due to mobility and obstacles, signal strength can fluctuate dramatically. Okay, that is nothing but the physical layer must be able to follow these dramatical fluctuated, right? So varying signal strength, so whenever that data is varying from one place to another, the signal strength can be like it can be accepted, right, in the physical layer. That is nothing but the varying signal strength. And power management. What is power management? Battery constraints. Many devices in network are battery powered. As I already told that the AD-HOC network have battery powered. Okay, and the physical layer should be energy efficient. The physical layer is energy efficient. Next, node. In power management, we have two types: battery constraints and node cooperation. So we discussed about the battery constraint. What is nothing but devices in a network have battery powered, right? So by using battery, this can be powered, right? Next, node cooperation is nothing but nodes may need to cooperate to relay the data for others, which can drain their batteries. To drain their batteries, we are going to cooperate to relay data for others. Okay, there is a nodes, right? So we have two different types of nodes are there. The nodes may need to cooperate to relay the data from others. To relay the data, we are going to use the node cooperation. Okay, sorry, cooperation. So we need cooperation between nodes to relay the data. Next, security consideration. In security consideration, we have again two types. Security, there is not limited securities present in the AD-HOC network. So same it here also. Vulnerability to eavesdropping. Okay, vulnerability is definitely present in the AD-HOC network. Why? Because there is no pre-infrastructure, right? So because of that is a major disappoint, right? So next, wireless communication is inherently subscripted to eavesdropping. Okay, next, denial of servicing. As I already told that what is denial of service, there is hackers, we can say. Okay, there is a hackers which are going to present in between sender and receiver. The data can be manipulated or the data can be updated to another way. Okay, for example, someone sends hi, it can, the denial of service nothing but it can change to the hello. Okay, that is nothing but the denial of service attacks in the security. And the overall summary, what we discussed in the physical layer is, this physical layer faces unique challenges. In first step we discussed these are, okay, unique challenges. Due to wireless medium, there is no physical wire, right? So wireless medium, dynamic topology, resource constraints, these all will come under the physical layer. Next, what is the next topic? MAC is nothing but medium access control. Okay, it can control of shared medium, where multiple devices share the same wireless medium. So multiple devices are share the same for example, multiple what we can say, multiple devices are going to share the data to same wireless medium. So that medium can act as a MAC layer. Okay, it can prevent collision and ensure that data is transmitted efficiently. So the MAC layer, what the MAC layer will do? So MAC layer will prevent, okay, the MAC layer is going to prevent the collision between one device to another device. For example, this device is sharing some data and this device is sharing some data to the one same wireless medium. Okay, this same medium can, it may chance to collision, right? So in between this, if there is something is differently happen, then these both will collide. So the MAC layer is what the function of MAC layer is nothing but that is nothing but prevents the collision. Okay, collision will dispute from the network. Next, what are the challenges are present in the MAC layer? Hidden terminal problem. Okay, hidden terminal problem. terminal problem which are present in the hidden layer. Okay, a node might be unable to hear another node's transmission even though both might interface with the third node. Okay, there are two, for example, there are two nodes, we are sharing data to the same medium, that is another third node. Then also there is here another node's transmission, even though both might interface with the third node. These both have some interface between third node, then also they both might unable to hear. Okay, this for example, this medium node have previous and next node. Okay, these both nodes are know each and everyone, but then also these both are not here to any other. Okay, another, so this node is not listening to him, this node is not listening to this node. Okay, this is nothing but the one hidden terminal problem, because that there is a traffic and collision is forming, right, indirectly. So that is nothing but the hidden terminal problem. Next, exposed terminal problem. Exposed terminal problem is nothing but a node might refer from transmitter because it hears a nearby transmission. Nearby transmission, one node can be hears, even though it could transmit to different receiver without interference. Without interference, the receiver may be transmitted different receivers. Okay, different receivers without interference, these all going to transmit the data. That is nothing but the exposed terminal problem. Okay, that is also one challenge of MAC layer. And what are the key functions are present in the MAC layer? Channel access, determine when a node can transmit. So channel access is nothing but the access control. Okay, whenever one node can transmit the data in a network, the total detailed are present in the channel access. Without knowing this channel access, we can't transmit the data from one node to another node. Okay, next, collision avoidance. As I already told that what is collision prevent in MAC layer, there are so many data is going to, so many different types of data is sharing to the same, what we can say, this same channel, right? So same medium, so there is no collision between these two nodes. That is a prevention of collision in MAC layer. Okay, next, error handling. It can handle the error, detecting and handling the errors in transmission. If there is any errors are present in the if any errors are presented during the transmission in MAC layer, then it can easily find that and detect that, and it can handle and it can correct the errors. Example is MAC AW and IEEE 802.11. Okay, next, what is link layer? Link layer is nothing but reliable data transfer. In MAC layer, what we discussed, shared medium, right? We have some medium, so that all will come under there are so many different types of nodes are coming and sharing the different data. So on that time, collision will happen in MAC layer. That collision is preventing in the MAC layer, right? So in this link layer, we have reliable data transfer. The link layer builds upon the MAC layer to provide more reliable data transfer between neighboring nodes. In between of two neighboring nodes, the data transfer is